Order! Order! You are an incorrigible delinquent at times. Behave yourself, man!
Now, as you know, we represent a broad spectrum of views here on This Week. Michael's always kept a wary eye on his former Conservative comrades. Diane has always been more than happy to roll her critical eyes at New Labour. And now that Liz has kindly lost the leadership election, just so she can join us here on the sofa, she'll no doubt be doing a bit of eye-rolling herself. But when it comes to television, how do you navigate the tricky political waters of religion, in particular Islam, especially following the week we've just had? We're not sure. So that's why we're putting representation in this week's Spotlight.
Imagine that. Father of an imam. I might even get my own parking space at the mosque.
He's the dysfunctional dad who invites British Muslims to laugh at themselves. But does Adil Ray's hit sitcom Citizen Khan also provide an alternative Muslim narrative, a mainstream challenge to the extremist ideology that lacks more than just a sense of humour? Sensitivities abound, and representing religion can be a tricky show business. Sometimes TV gets it right. An episode of EastEnders won plaudits this week when a young Muslim character told his girlfriend why the Quran to him means peace.
That to me is what Islam's about. Be kind to people, family and strangers alike, and love them.
But what about the much-loved winner of this year's Bake Off, Nadia, the great British inspiration who triumphed in the TV talent show? Though as a proud mother of Bangladeshi origin, she says she isn't just defined by her hijab.
Come on, let's watch telly. Border controls on. One of your cousins might be on it again.
It's certainly a broad church, Telly. But when it comes to depicting religion, especially Islam, are we really doing enough to show the true diversity of belief? Those who worship at the altar of This Week, take your pew. And Adil joins us now. Welcome to the programme.
Thank you very much.
Was there a purpose behind Citizen Khan about trying to change the view of Islam among ordinary British Muslims and non-Muslims? Did you have that in mind?
Not really. I mean, essentially, when I've got a desire to do comedy. I just wanted to do a comedy, a British comedy.
Well, that bit succeeded.
Yeah, I hope so. You know, some people will disagree, but that's fine too. But no, that was really my purpose. But as a sort of byproduct of that, it's fantastic that, I mean, comedy has the ability to do that, to humanise communities, and you're constantly looking for sort of common traits. You're looking for universality. So when you're writing a comedy, I think, especially when you're on BBC One. So I think if you can get to a point where people can connect with a British Muslim Pakistani father, that's a good thing.
I'm sure that they, in a sense, laugh at the same things
well,
and the same concerns and so on. Is there a difficulty, though, that at the moment in that, I guess over the decades, that Christians have got used to being the butt of jokes? Is that true of British Muslims?
It's not, and I think that's probably one of the things, because there isn't a history of British Muslim comedy or Muslim comedy. Although I have to say there are comedies, even in places like Iraq. There's a satire show, show that satirises ISIS. I mean, you know, that happens. There is a history of it. But I think because it's such a new area, it's a sensitive area, that I think sort of certain Muslims, a certain paranoia, I think, enters, and they feel that maybe Citizen Khan is part of some sort of conspiracy to bring down Muslims, and of course it isn't.
Have you had kickback either from sections of the non-Muslim community, why have we got to have a Muslim comedy kind of thing, or from the Muslim community?
Well,
why are we the butt of these jokes?
I get it from both ends. You know, I will get sort of bigots from the far right who will complain, and also people from sometimes the far left who will complain. And I think, well, that's probably means I'm doing something right, I think.
Well, sometimes they're quite good enemies to have.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Mr. Khan, the character, he calls himself a community leader.
Yes.
In a sense, that I saw that as and this is true of all sort of groups. There are people within them who always think, I'm speaking for everybody when I speak.
Yeah, and I've got to be careful sat here doing that very thing now. But no, I mean, the thing is for me, I mean, the one thing connecting it to my faith was that I remember post 7/7 and 9/11, I would see the local news station get the guy with the longest beard and place him in front of the local mosque and ask him about something happening 5,000 miles away. This guy's come out for a pint of milk, and
But
really,
he's now responsible for foreign policy.
Yeah, and I imagine they get back in the edit suite and they go, well, what that guy said was amazing. He was brilliant, but who the hell was he? Well, we don't know. He's not really a member of anything. Let's think of a title for him. Well, he was in the community. He was speaking about people. We'll call him the community leader. And that was Mr. Khan. I just think that was great. And then you have this guy with a silly hat. On
Do you, when the script's being created, are there times when you think, "Ooh, better not go there? That's a good joke, but we probably shouldn't do that."
Not really, because I think you've got a character that I think. In all comedy, you have to have a character that has got to be slightly monstrous. He's got to say the things that you don't want him to say. We write a 30-minute show, and the journey is that he does the wrong thing, and in the end, he does the right thing. So he's got to be monstrous, and we allow our character to have that voice, I think.
I mean, the show has created a very different image from what a lot of people would like. They would like to stigmatise and all the rest of it. But Nadia Hussein, that was quite an amazing,
it was
symbolic event.
It was brilliant because it was one of those moments that you heard from people, on social media, everywhere saying the same thing, whether they were Muslim or non-Muslim, saying they felt proud to be British when someone like Nadia won Bake Off, and that is fantastic. And all that sort of what I sort of see as part of the counter narrative is really important. The similar thing with Moeen Ali opening the batting, playing for England.
Yes.
He's got a longer beard than Mr. Khan, which I find slightly annoying.
We could do with a few more Alis.
Yeah, we could do
after what's happened in Dubai against Pakistan.
We could, but I think all of that is a positive thing.
1 in 5, I think, of your constituents identify themselves as Muslims. Are you overall? I mean, because there are terrible events going on, and people are always looking for somebody to blame as well. Overall, should we be reasonably optimistic about the state of our relation, of the position of the Muslim community in Britain, or communities, because it's not one?
No, that's right. People are really worried when events like last week happen. They're worried about what's going to happen to them, if attacks are going to happen back. And that's why we need far more different, various, an explosion of different representations within the media.
Because that helps.
Because that's life.
And it makes normality.
And it's true.
Michael, we've only got a few minutes. Give a final thought on this.
I think I pick up that thought. I think that for the moment, the lack of integration of the Muslim community is reflected in their lack of appearance in the media, and also by an unwillingness to tackle real issues. I mean, the issues we've been talking about this evening, radicalisation, whether kids are travelling to Syria, had these things been treated, for instance, not in sitcoms, have they in drama on the BBC or on ITV? I'm not aware that they have.
Well, there may be an opportunity there.
Yeah.
Just briefly before we go, how many shows have got to run?
There's still 5 more shows, and it's on air tomorrow night at 7:30. One of the few times on telly that a Muslim will be on who's not a terrorist this week. It'd be great, wouldn't it? Or talking about terrorism. Yeah.
Well, congratulations on the show.
Thank you.
Adam, thank you. And that's your lot for tonight, folks.